Drive-by shootings are bad, okay? Hey everyone, it's Drew from Top City Gear again, and I thought today I might just share a little story I've got about my my own personal experience on the bad end of a drive-by shooting that happened a few years ago. And although I didn't myself physically get hurt, my truck itself was not so lucky, and my house itself took around. So, and I've got some video footage to show you of my truck. As it turned out, the house a couple houses down from me had a young man in there that was hanging out with the wrong guys, I guess you'd say, and for whatever reason these bad dudes decided to try to send him a message for some reason that I never found out. But basically at about 3:30 in the morning, my wife and I woke up to rapid gunfire, and it was probably about 10 to 12 rounds that went off, and it was just a matter of seconds when it started and when it was over. Most of the rounds went to the vacant house in between my house and the house of the supposed intended target. But a couple bullets did hit my poor truck, and also one hit my house. You know, in the drive-by shooting aside, I think from an academic standpoint it is interesting to see the after effects of the bullets that went into my truck and also into my house, which I ended up recovering the one. The one that went in my house, it just went into the bathroom. It went through the outer siding, which was just wood, through an empty wall, through drywall, through a layer of paneling, and went right into my cloth clothes hamper. And the bullet was stopped by a t-shirt actually, which was pretty surprising. And as it turned out, the bullet itself was pretty much perfectly preserved, so I put it in a baggie and gave it to the cops. I had 2 rounds that hit my truck. At the time I didn't really know much about firearms, and it just was sort of shocking me just how powerful these rounds were to go through so many layers of metal. The bullet that I recovered from my clothes hamper, the officers thought that it looked like one out of an AK-47. So, but it's interesting because they went through the tailgate, through both sides of the tailgate, and also had a bed liner in the truck, and then it went through, in and out through the fender well, and continued on through the front of the bed, and then one bullet hit the back of the cab and dented it in, and then another round, the other round went through the back of the cab and took out my driver's side rear speaker. And I only figured that out a couple months later or so, when I noticed that my stereo just wasn't sounding quite right. It, you know, the sound bounces off. So I did a little digging and found that it actually had taken out my speakers, so that kind of sucked. But another interesting thing to note is that if you actually look through the holes in the truck, you know, it's not a straight line like you see in the movies or CSI, where they try to, you know, trace a bullet's trajectory by using a laser, you know, to go straight through something. It's actually, they're not you know, they're not really in a line. So it kind of made me think of the you know, the magic bullet theory of JFK. It seemed crazy at first, but you know, when you actually see it in real life, it kind of makes you wonder. But at any rate, I'm fine. To my knowledge, nobody was hurt, so fortunately. Anyway, I thought you guys might be interested in seeing that, so at least I don't need any of those stickers for fake bullet holes in my truck, because I've got the real thing. So thanks for watching, and stay prepared.